Your Excellency, Dr. Kagame, President of the Republic of Namibia, our host and incoming chairperson of the Southern African Development Community, Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa and outgoing chairperson of the Southern African Development Community, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, First Ladies, former Heads of State and Government, Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Heads of regional and continental institutions, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to join you today at this summit. I thank you for inviting me to take part on behalf of the African Union. I appreciate you are bringing the African Union and SADC closer, which indeed they should be. Let me congratulate SADC for paying close attention to security and stability within the region and even beyond. As we all know, these are necessary conditions for the transformation we desire and a critical part of the African Union agenda. Besides these socio-economic benefits, there are other security issues on our continent that go beyond national sovereignty, affect other nations, and call for collective action to resolve. Wearing the heart of the Chair of the African Union, I wish to stress that we must meet such issues up front. It has happened before. Crises of security with cross-border implications have been settled by other countries or regional groupings. After all, we are all connected. And we all know too well that there are matters we can't just wish away, but have to face them directly and find the right remedies for them. SADC has accomplished this task in the past in handling political and security issues in Lesotho and Madagascar, and recently in the Comoros. You will be called upon to do the same again, where similar action is required, as indeed was the case in Zimbabwe in the recent past. We can all be pleased that SADC and AU accompanied the political process in Zimbabwe, and now matters are in the right direction, in final stages of being happily resolved before the courts of law. SADC has a similar role to play to benefit situation in DRC. We applaud the latest developments there, showing follow-through on the Constitution and the agreement of December 2016. This is an important step, and others are hoped for as agreed by the people of this great country. You can count on the African Union as a partner if you need support. Excellencies, distinguished audience, the theme of the summit could not be more pertinent to Africa's transformation agenda. Infrastructure development, as well as the free movement of persons, are key to translating our aspirations into practical results for our citizens. Equally, the long-term prospects of prosperity and security of Africa depend on creating the conditions and environment that enable our young people to achieve their full potential right here at home. We have the ability to do more for our countries, individually, but even better, together. Today, more than ever, collaboration among African countries is not a choice. It is an imperative in real terms. It is precisely because we recognize the necessity and advantage of going beyond the borders of our respective countries that we have joined forces through regional economic communities and the African Union. Domestic priorities are, of course, important and can never be disregarded. Those needs are what brings us together in the first place. We must find a way of taking care of our home front while also building our regional economic communities. In the end, we all gain. Our experience is that we are infinitely stronger when we face the world as a common front, united in our diversity and yet respectful of the interests of each country, whether large or small. We have to keep that big picture in focus. We must also continually strive to ensure that our actions are always fully aligned with our ideas of African unity. Just as important, while our stated commitments may be clear, we need to do more to match them with results. Attitudes that weaken mutual trust, saying one thing and acting to the contrary, and antagonizing neighbors can only slow us down. Nobody gains. Instead, we end up advancing the external interests who benefit from a divided Africa. Southern Africa has a long tradition of solidarity, born of the struggle of freedom and sustained today as a catalyst for progress. This region has been a source of inspiration for Africa as a whole. We must continue to build on that tradition and expand beyond SADC across the continent. Indeed, the Southern African Development Community's industrialization strategy clearly recognizes that free trade facilities, export diversification, competitiveness, and inclusive growth. We are also on the move as a continent. In the years ahead, the African Continental Free Trade Area and the Protocol on Free Movement of Persons will significantly increase the level of trade among African nations while strengthening our negotiating positions globally. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the heads of state and government gathered here for the growing support and engagement given to the institutional and financial reform of the African Union. Issues raised by individual member states continue to be addressed in a flexible and consultative manner. This irreversible process is critically important for our ability to deliver on the key pillars of Agenda 2063, the Africa we want and deserve. Let me thank you once again for the kind invitation to participate in this summit. I wish you fruitful deliberations, and I thank you for your kind attention.